This is Reggie Kelly, former Cincinnati Bengals and Atlanta Falcons tight end, and you're listening to TNT, Thursday Night Tailgate. Brace yourself for the explosion.
And now back with us here on Thursday Night Tailgate is former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins, like he is every week here on TNT. Hey, Tony, how are you tonight, my friend?
Tony. Doing fantastic. How you doing, Chris and Bob?
Oh, we're good. Thank you, Tony. So, Tony, want to start off our time with you tonight by getting your thoughts on some of the moves that the Patriots have made since the last time we spoke, right? And first, I got to get your thoughts on Malcolm Butler and Dion Lewis going to the Titans. I think we all knew Butler wasn't going to be back after the whole Super Bowl thing, but Dion Lewis has got to hurt a little bit.
I'm going to tell you, man, not only that, but just some of the moves that they're making, I think one of the biggest ones is the receiver going to Miami and going in the same division. You watch the Patriots like I've been watching them for years, and you watch Belichick and you kind of trust what he's doing. And I'm pretty sure he's got to be behind some of this, or I would hope that he's behind some of this and understanding, the way that he wins. But losing these players, man, I don't know. Again, like I said, you kind of trust Belichick, and he's going to bring somebody in. He's got a plan. I hope he has a plan anyway. Hope that he has a plan. But losing Dion and losing, Malcolm, I thought Malcolm was a really good defensive back, and with my boy going to the Dolphins too, and then we losing Soldier, the offensive tackle. I the only thing I can do, I trust Belichick. I still think we got a solid team. I still think we can win our division. So I'm just trusting Belichick. I'll put it to you that way.
And Tony, the Patriots and Titans, they play each other next season. We don't know when, right? Because the complete schedule isn't out. We just know which teams play each other. So you would think there's going to be a little extra juice in that game, particularly for Butler. Curious from your time in the league, Tony, did you ever have to face a guy that the Patriots either cut or traded away the next season?
Oh yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, of course. That part of it is going to stick to you, man. When you go to another team where you thought you should have been at your old team, any player is try their best to beat that team that didn't want them, perhaps. But that's going to be a game to watch and see how that turnout is going to be. And so every player, like I said before, every player has egos. So I'm sure Malcolm's going to come and try to do his best, and Dion's going to try to do his best when they play the Patriots, of course.
Bob, questions for Tony?
Tony, I'm getting the feeling, and I was reading an article about this today, that for so many years, guys have taken actual discounts to stay in New England or even sign with New England. And it seems like they're getting away from that, Tony. Is that just a sign of the times, a new generation? Is it all about money now, or is it something about the organization?
Well, I mean, you got to look at some of the guys that are getting older, and when you get older and you've been in the league for a while, your time clock is ticking, man, and you got to get as much money as you can get. And when you look at Kirk Cousins and all the money that he got going to Minnesota, you got to be smart in this game. And like I said, back when I was playing, that we never heard of money like that. And so, but now you got to understand, you got to get as much as you can, because you just never know when it's going to be your last play, your last game. And so, I think now it's more of definitely more of a business, and it should be, because you look at all the players now and all the different organizations now. There's no loyalty, man. When a player gets to a certain age and a certain years that he's played, no matter how much he's done for that team, if they can bring another guy in that can do almost as close to him what that player has done and pay him less money, that's business, and that's good business for the organization. So it is a business thing now, and it's all about the business. There's no loyalty with organizations with different teams. I look at Richard Sherman and he's all the stuff that he's done for Seattle. They let him go, and it goes on, and that's not just this past year. It's years before. And like I say, you would think. I look back at Joe Montana when he was playing for the 49ers, and they let him go, and I think he had a couple good years with Kansas City. Loyalty, there's none. It's all about the business. It's all about making as much money as you can as an organization and saving as much money as you can as an organization. So the players got to do the same thing. I think as a player at this time of football and how football is now, how crucial a sport it is. You gotta get as much money as you can get. A lot of people look at Kirk Cousins and say, "Oh man, nobody's worth all that." Well, you wouldn't be saying that if that was you, or if that was your son. You want your son, or you want you to get as much money as you can get. And so, I talk to guys all the time, man. Get as much money as you can get right now, man, because you just never know when that last play is gonna be. So, I think it's great that these players is getting all this money. I think it's fantastic for them. I'm not jealous of them at all. I'm not envious of them at all. I mean, I came out in the years that I came out, and I played like I played, and I had a great time playing the game. I loved the game, and I always told my mom after I retired, Mom, I was born at the wrong time. You should have held on a little bit longer. The money was a lot better. But man, I think it's great. I think it's great for these guys getting this money, and players are not gonna be trying to stay at teams and make less money. That's to me that's terrible for a player. I won't say terrible, but for a player to take less money where he knows if he goes to another team he can make more money. It's a no nonsense. It doesn't make any sense for him to do that. So because right now it's about a business, because that team is not gonna give you money. They're not gonna keep you on that team if they can pay another guy a little bit less, and that can almost do your same capability, your same athleticism. And they're going to pay him less. They're going to take that player and they're going to let you go. So it's all about the business right now.
And not to dwell on that topic, but Tony, I'm reading more and more about agents. Basically, they're not even hiding it anymore. They're saying my client is going to the highest bidder, and that doesn't matter if the team won nothing last year or whether they look good for the future. It seems like the players don't have as much to say, or they're afraid to speak up, Tony, because it's money out of their pocket, no matter if they know if it's a bad fit or not.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like I say, man, in the game of football, it's a sport. It's such a violent sport. Now, if you could play this sport like baseball players, that they can play 16, 17 years or whatever, then I would say, you might want to hold out and play with that team that's going to go to the World Series or whatever. But it's football. You don't know when your last game is going to be. You can't play 16 years or 17 years as a football player unless you're a kicker or a punter or something like that. But you got to get the money. You got to go for the money. You got to understand that your body is a business, and when your body starts to wear down, your business is wearing down, and you got to get that money while you can. And there's no need of trying to stay to a team that you may think that, well, we might make the playoffs, we might go to a Super Bowl. There's no guarantee for that. You just can't guarantee none of that stuff right now. So you got to get that money while you can. And I tell all these players all the time, man, go get that money, man. Don't worry about trying to be loyal to these organizations, because they are not going to be loyal to you.
Speaking of money, Tony, before we let you go, remind our listeners about the money you're trying to help them get to get scholarships and go off to college.
TonyCollinsFoundation.org we're going on our 10-year anniversary this year. We're helping high school kids, high school athletes get into college. Every donation that helps, you go to our website, TonyCollinsFoundation.org, make a donation, buy a book. Every book that we sell goes to helping the kid go off to college.
There you go. Tony, take care. Thanks for your time tonight. We look forward to catching up with you again next week. In between now and then, all the best to you and your family, my friend.
Take care, Tony.
God bless you guys. You have a great one.
See you, Tony. That is former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins. We've got Vanderbilt defensive coordinator Jason Tarver hanging on the line. We're going to get to Jason on the other side of these words about our good friend and former Pro Bowl quarterback Drew Bledsoe and Doubleback Winery.
Former NFL quarterback Drew Bledsoe, owning a winery has been a long-time aspiration that would allow him to combine his passion for fine wines and love of his hometown, the Walla Walla Valley. Drew returned in 2007 to plant his original estate vineyard, McQueen, on the southern end of the Walla Walla Valley. The following year, Drew launched Doubleback, an estate-focused winery with the goal to produce world-class Cabernet Sauvignon. Since the very first release, the 2007 Cabernet Sauvignon, Doubleback has received numerous accolades, including a spot on the Wine Spectre's Top 100 list. Drew's vision, brought to life by winemaker Josh McDaniels, remains to be a premium wine experience, completely focused on quality. To further assist the vision of high quality, estate-focused wine, Drew has acquired and planted 4 estate vineyards in the Walla Walla Valley, and recently broke ground on the future home of Doubleback Winery, which will open in 2018. Drew is committed to using only the most sustainable, superlative winemaking practices to ensure that Doubleback will be one of the best bottles of wine you will drink. We invite you to learn more about Doubleback and sign up for our mailing list at doubleback.com. That's doubleback.com.